if he is convicted, you will still support him and vote for him?
Absolutely. I think what's going on with Donald Trump is weaponization of the law.
We were just talking about supporting law and order, the rule of law, due process, personal responsibility, and accountability before the break. We are very quickly learning that these are just meaningless things that Republicans say. These are not actual principles that the right wing abides by when it's inconvenient. It's something they like to say when convenient in a vacuum to draw an apparent distinction with Democrats. But it's not really something that they stand by. And I'm going to play as proof of this an interview that Republican Senator Lindsey Graham did on CNN over the weekend. And what we are increasingly hearing from Republicans is law and order, due process, orderly, everything all buttoned up. We respect the rule of law. Except if Trump gets convicted, it'll be bogus. And I'm still going to vote for the guy and support the guy. And that's exactly what Lindsey Graham says. It is endless equivocation. It's endless lies. It's more whataboutism. And Lindsey Graham completely ignoring the fact that Trump stole classified documents, refused to return them, and is calling this selective prosecution of Trump, saying they didn't go after Bill Clinton or Hillary Clinton. They didn't go after Joe Biden. They didn't do any of that. It's just selective, and starting to set himself up to be able to say what he eventually says. Even if he's convicted, the conviction will be bogus. It won't be a meaningful conviction. So I would still vote Trump. Take a listen.
American people won't know how this is going to sort of end before they go to the polls. Does that worry you? Should they know?
They know. Yeah. No, not at all. No. You know, why don't you ask me, if he's convicted in any of these trials, would it change my view? No. I think all these trials are political. I think it's selective prosecution. I think what's going on in New York is an outrage. The case is 8 years ago. They created a crime just for Trump. I think it's selective prosecution for political purposes. I think the Jack Smith trial is selective prosecution. They didn't go after Clinton. They didn't go after Biden on classified information breaches. So I think most Americans are not going to decide how to vote based on Trump's legal troubles, but the troubles
American people.
So he's dismissing all of it. He's saying at the end of the day, the outcomes don't matter because he believes other people have also done, I guess, morally equivalent, legally equivalent, criminally equivalent things. And he's saying it doesn't really matter to me what Trump disseminated and to whom or any of it. And he confirms, yes, even if Trump is convicted of felonies between now and November, he has my support.
All right, go ahead.
No, just to underscore something you said earlier, if he is convicted, you will still support him and vote for him.
Absolutely. I think what's going on with Donald Trump is weaponization of the law. He's being prosecuted in Manhattan, one of the deepest blue cities in the country.
Remember, he's being prosecuted in Manhattan because that's where the alleged crimes took place. Nothing special or secretive or subterfuge about it.
Georgia and Fulton County. Jack Smith is going after Trump, but Clinton and, Biden. Anyway, I think most people have written this off. They're going to focus on their problems, not a bunch of cases brought by liberals against Trump.
Now, one of the important things is it doesn't really seem like voters have written this off because the polling says if Trump is convicted, 80% would not vote for him. Is that really representative of the situation nationally? I don't know. But at least that's what voters are saying in polls. If Trump were convicted, they would not support him. The polling doesn't suggest most Americans have written this off, so we will see. Now, Dana Bash brings up the testimony of David Pecker about the broader catch and kill scheme where Pecker's publications, including the National Enquirer, would signal boost positive stories about Trump back in 2016 and also publish negative stories about Trump's opponents. And Lindsey Graham's explanation there is lots of people do this. Lots of people do this. A lot of whataboutism here, as you can see.
Mentioned the case in New York. Of course, that is something that is ongoing. And I just do want to ask you one specific question about what we heard this past week. And that is David Pecker, who ran the National Enquirer's parent company, testified that he paid to catch and kill stories about Trump, specifically to help his presidential campaign. You don't have any concerns about that?
You know, apparently a lot of people do this. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Tiger Woods.
Schwartz.
No, I think the whole thing is a crock. The statute of limitations has long shut out the misdemeanor cases. So this liberal prosecutor in Manhattan came up with a federal campaign violation that the state of New York, Southern District of New York.
So then he's telling the misdemeanor felony lie. So a lot of people also do this. Is not a defense in a court of law. And again, the idea that they couldn't get a misdemeanor, so they made up a felony. These, some of these actions Trump is accused of are misdemeanors in a vacuum, but felonies if committed in the service of another crime. And it's that latter scenario that Trump meets the bill for and under which he's been charged. So Lindsey, not exactly a profile in courage here, that's for sure. And I can assure you that while there are many elected Republicans who certainly will be voting for Trump no matter what happens, there certainly are voters who claim if Trump were convicted, I wouldn't vote for the guy. Let's see what they actually end up doing. It is time to start thinking like voters and to make sure that kids understand the importance of voting, how it works, registering, ballot initiatives, because so many kids just have no idea. That's why I wrote the new children's book, Think Like a Voter. I can think of no better time and no more important group of folks to try to reach. The book is now available at davidpakman.com/book, where, by the way, you can get the first 2 books in the series as well. Think Like a Detective and Think Like a Scientist. Really important stuff. Donate them to local libraries, classrooms, read them with the kids. davidpakman.com/book.